Hello dear viewers, this is Wolf, and welcome to Level Up Reviews. And yes, you have read the title correctly. Ultima III, Exodus. Let's go. Last time we spoke about Ultima II, Revenge of the Enchantress, and how Richard found a new publisher in Sierra Online. But this too would not last, unless they too would stop paying him. No luck, I guess. Let's just say in the 80s, gaming industry was plagued with certain recreational substance. Disappointed in gaming industry, Richard asked his well-accomplished older brother for advice. Well-accomplished does not even begin to describe Robert Garriott, who graduated MIT Sloan School of Management with a master's degree in science, had an electric engineering degree from Rice University, and master's degree in engineering economic systems from Stanford University. Robert assessed the situation correctly. He realized that there was a lot of money to be made in the gaming industry, but no one knew how to properly cash in. So he offered Richard to go to business together, with a guarantee that he would pay Richard first, as he was the content provider. Richard agreed, of course, so in March 4, 1983, together with Chuck Bush, known as Chuckles, and Jeff Hillhouse, they formed Origin Systems. Their office would be at their parents' house, and their friends at Soft Talk would run an ad for them as a favor. This was the humble beginning of now legendary Origin Systems. Robert Garriott came up with the tagline, "We create worlds." Honestly, I cannot think of more fitting tagline than this. Originally, Origin was supposed to be more than just a gaming development company, but also software and technology developer. Unfortunately, this was not meant to be. After failed attempts at making dual joysticks, which were too expensive to manufacture, and spacecraft simulator called Nauseator, which was too unsafe, they decided to stick with what they knew: video games. Ultima III Exodus was the first game released by Origin Systems, and it stands out quite a lot from the other games I reviewed so far. This game also ushers many firsts in the Ultima series. Its first Ultima game was solid 3D dungeon appearance. First Ultima game was Moongates. First Ultima game was character party animation, and first Ultima game was music. Music is composed by Ken Arnold, and Denis LeBay returns with an awesome artwork, as usual. The game was released on August 23, 1983 on Apple II and IBM PC. In 1986, game came out on Atari ST, and in 1987 it came out on Famicom and NES. Ultima III included a manual and a close map of Caesarea. There was a bit of a problem with the original release. Specifically, Richard's bad spelling has showed itself. He misspelled word altar, which made the game very hard to finish. But thankfully, he misspelled it consistently enough for people to figure it out. Despite of this rough start, to say that Exodus was a successful game is to say nothing. The game was praised by critics. Ultima III stayed on top of the best-selling games on Apple II until 1985, selling 120,000 copies. The story of this game continues the saga of Caesarea. From an unholy union of mundane and Minax, an abomination was born. This thing is only known as Exodus. Exodus commits many evils upon Caesarea, so naturally you will have to go and stop him. But it's easier said than done, because Exodus has bound great Air Serpent to guard his castle. In the future, you will find out just how ridiculously powerful this makes Exodus. This time, you will not go adventuring alone though. You will have a party of 4. You will have options to choose from more jobs. Now to the existing fighter, cleric, thief, and wizard. You can add paladin, barbarian, lark, illusionist, druid, alchemist, and ranger. There is also a new race added, a fuzzy. There are many combinations with races and jobs, but basically you can't go wrong with human ranger, elf or dwarf fighter, Babbit cleric, and fuzzy wizard. You start the game in Caesarea. You need to do the usual. buy weapons, armors, food, and it helps to go to the guilds that buy keys, peer gems, and time stop powders. When you start fighting, you will go to separate screen and control each party member. To level up, you need to go and speak with Lord British. To gather information, you will need to ask around. The bartender will also divulge some information if you will tip them. From 7 to 90 coins as usual. You can use the same principle with the Oracle, only this time around, price rises from 100 to 900 coins. Oracle is found in the town of Dawn, which only appears during the specific alignment of the moons. You will learn that you need to go and talk to Time Lord, who is at the level 8 of the Dungeon of Time. On the way, you can gather up Mark of Kings, which allows you to level up beyond level 5. It is found on level 2 and level 8. There is also a Mark of Fire on level 8. Lord of Time will tell you in which order you need to input the cards to destroy Exodus. After this, you can go to Doom and get Mark of Force on level 8, and then get to Dungeon of Snake and get Mark of Snake on level 8. You will also need 4 cards, which are hidden on each of the 4 shrines on the lost continent of Ambrosia. You can also raise your stats here. To get there, you will need to commandeer a pirate ship and enter a hurricane. After getting cards, you can commandeer another ship and go back to Caesarea. To get exotic arms, you need to dig around 2 different islands. And finally, you will need to go to U and meditate at Circle of Light to find out word Evocare. Sounds like a health insurance company to me. Now, you ready your arms and storm Castle of Fire. To pass Great Earth Serpent, you will need to yell Evocare. I guess it reminds him what a terrible health insurance company he has, and he doesn't want to get damaged anymore, he just lets you through. Then you will need to fight your way through the demons to reach Exodus. Last battle is against enemy named Floors. They're invisible, but they're pretty simple actually. Just stand in line and attack forward. After all of them are dead, you can input cards Love, Soul, Moons, and Death in this order, and win the game. Ultima III Exodus is a brilliant game, and it is easily recognizable as an influencer of so many RPGs that came after. The legacy of this great game still lives on till this day, and if somebody ever doubted that previous games were serious attempts at role-playing games, no one will doubt Ultima III. Ultima 1, 2, and 3 are available on GOG, and frankly, just for Ultima 3, I would recommend to buy it. I'm happy to end this trilogy on a high note. But Richard was not satisfied. He still looked at this game as an experiment, and disliked borrowed elements in his creation. Let's follow Richard and let's see, as he makes something truly his own. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you very much.